Hello, everyone. Welcome to Allianz Joy. It is so good to be here today, and it's wonderful to be here today with you. Welcome to my show, Allianz Joy, on Win Win Women TV and other networks. I hope you're tuning in live today because I have a great topic. I'm going to give you some golden tips today, how to live your life full of joy and in peace and without the fear and anxiety of the daily stressors, right? So today I'm going to share a little bit with you. That is my little offer for you today. I also want to share with you that why do I do this? This is my why. I help people with these things. I help people just to kind of go through a transformation. And I call that from expectation to transformation in their life when you get stuck, when you are full of grief, when you have PTSD, when there is a lot of trauma, when there has been loss, when there has been grief. And also when you are just not able to deal with the daily stressors or you have a form of anxiety or depression. So most of my clients in my life coaching practice, I'm a midlife and transformation coach, come to find answers. And to find the answers is just overall to make life a little bit easier, right? To find some answers of how you can handle the things that are coming at you. I learned that also from experience myself. I wrote about that in my book, 60 Miles from Demons. And when I wrote about that, it came to me that there was a lot of things that just became more clear, right? And then I found clarity. While I had said in my younger years, no, everything is clear to me, right? Even when you don't listen to your parents or you don't want to listen to the people around you, you think everything is clear. And I said later, clarity comes with a little bit of wisdom and a little bit of age, right? Because some things are just becoming more apparent and you can kind of translate them to the past and say, well, because that happened, I now can see why I'm always having such an outcome, right? Why I always have the same reactions or the same reaction patterns overall. So I wanted to share just a few of those nuggets with you. I share more and more of these things that I've learned in my life that I can really relate to, and why I help my clients and my patients with that. For years, I worked with patients also in addiction recovery setting. And now in my life coaching practice, I really help people through a mind, body, spirit coach approach, as I call it. The outcome is always overall that I want you to go from healthy to healing and overall find your sexy back, whatever that means for you, right? So it doesn't mean that sexy is what we see on television or on Instagram or what others tell us that it is. Just to feel good overall and to have that feeling that you can handle life a little bit easier definitely comes with that triangle transformation. Sometimes I call that we are living in the times of the not so American dream because everything is hectic around us. And you hear me talk about this a lot. So I'm kind of bringing it back together today in a summary. We do have a lot of stresses around us. We do need to make sure that we can find out if it is stress for ourselves or if it's anxiety, right? If it's just daily stressors, it's stuff that comes at us because we're watching the news, or we get sad news, or we are worried about something that we have to do today, or we're just even a little bit stressed out and anxiety, anxious and have a little bit of stress about these things that are actually very exciting, which can feel the same physical symptoms that I talk about a lot of that anxiety. But when we're really going into a phase of so worried about tomorrow and the things to come, I can't understand why I cannot control it, why I cannot get a grip of it. And well, we do want to control a lot of things, right? Instead of leaving it up to a higher power. But when we cannot really see solutions yet, we really get stressed out and feel more anxious day by day. And that just can lead to a long-term anxiety and the physical symptoms of that. So when we go through those stressors, we really need to find out if it is really just something that happens in the moment, or is it going on for a long time, and how can I address that? So my offer today is just to talk about some simple solutions for these stressors. They're not always really simple, but you can start with trying to find out what your purposes, right? Why am I here? What am I doing? Sometimes we just do know what we don't want, but we do not know what we do want. And that is always the first thing that I would love to talk to my clients about. What do you want? What is it that you're really looking forward to? Or what would you like to see for yourself? What would be a vision board? What would be a dream for yourself that you would love to fill in? And it has to be, of course, a little bit real. It has to fit in a certain time, and it has to also just be realistic, right? So that we can actually transfer that into a set time and say, well, maybe in 5 years you might want to see that outcome if you are doing the next steps and if you're going to walk the next steps for yourself, so that you can make these small steps towards bigger goals, towards that outcome in 5 years of your dream. So if you want to see that, you really have to find out what it is that you want to go towards too, right? I call that my entrance strategy back into life. Not just the exit strategy of the things that you know that you don't want, but also what do you do want, right? It has to be unique, it has to be you, and it is probably related to your loved ones and related to the people around you. And who do you want to do that with? And then in the next phase, we're going into talking about stop expecting so much of others and stop expecting so much of yourself. So, what that means is that we cannot always feel that other people can fill in all the holes for ourselves, that other people can make us happy, that we cannot find that happiness inside, but it's related only to people or to places or to events. And we are going to try to bring that back into staying away from expectation at all and bringing that back to your unique self. Because we have to find a little difference between that happiness that is related to others while you are waiting for them to fill that in, or can you find your own happiness inside and just be your unique self and shine through that, right? That's very important. And then I also want you to move through the past and with the past. I call that move with and move through, and just keep moving, because pain and feelings feelings of PTSD or trauma, actually, really what you have been through, the hurt, the pain, the sorrow, the devastation that you have been through, need to stay with you uh, to become you, right? In order for you to become whole and to be yourself. So moving forwards and moving upwards is very important in that. But it's not a case that you can just forget where you were or forget what happened. That is not the case. I do not want you to forget. I want you to move through and move with the pain, so that ultimately it will become a little easier to bear and it becomes part of your story. That is very important. And then next, we have to do some work. And work is a little bit of a dirty word, because to become a better self and to become a little bit more of a transformed, unique individual, your unique self, you have to really do the work. And that means a lot of repetition, because we are really sometimes kind of going away from repetition, right? We want to say, that's boring. We don't want to do that. But repetition is really where you learn by doing it over and over again. That is really when you start feeling an awareness and an alertness to the things that you need to know, that you need to watch out for. And sometimes we don't need to act and react, and sometimes we just need to slowly step away from it and take a deep breath, and you become aware of that when you do it more and more and more and over and over and over again. And it gives you a sense of strength, and it gives you a sense of knowledge and power, that once you know that you have done the work, then you can help others with doing the same thing. So it creates really that power of attention to self, to what we do, and if we respond or if we're just reacting, if we're really listening or if we're just hearing somebody talk, right? And then the last thing that I want you to do is find your creative self. Find really that place inside where you find your uniqueness, where you don't have to compare yourself to others. Although in many cases in my life, I give you an example for that, I said, I want to become like her, or I want to become like him when I'm older and growing up. And although I never want to become older and grow up. I am somewhat. And I find myself still wanting to grow and wanting to learn and wanting to have people that set an example for me around me, right? Because I want to just still become better and become more equipped and have a sense of learning all the time so that I can grow, not change, but I want to grow. And that is really important. And when you start thinking, things personal that won't help, right? Because it kind of throws you off again into, less self-esteem and into feelings of unworthy. And I don't want you to go there. I want you to find a unique, creative, or intelligent self that just keeps learning, keeps doing more repetition, keeps being needy and greedy for the things that you want to go forward to. Because it's really a bad thing if we stand still. And when we stand still, that's usually when we lose that sexy, when we use that form of feeling good, when we feeling confident, that form of confidence with ourselves. And that happens a lot when we kind of slip off a little bit or something tragic happens to us. And we all go through that. But when that happens, then you see sometimes that you slide off a little bit to the side, and it's hard to see the positive things around you. And I get that. I've been in those places many, many times in my life that I just sometimes couldn't see a way out. Yeah, everybody can talk to you like, no, it's getting better and you'll get better. And it just takes time and all this stuff. And you just have to forget about it or get over it. It doesn't work. That is not working. But just paying attention to the things that are working, that do make you feel better. For instance, one thing I always talk about is just to go work out, to feel stronger emotionally and mentally, because your body is stronger, your body is healing to healthy. And if you are feeling healthier, then you feel that healing setting in. And then you can be emotionally and mentally stronger in case things are coming to you, right? When I write about that, I call that you just get better at. You just get better at life. You just get better at life because you are paying attention to the things that you can implement for yourself. You are paying attention to, for instance, sharing love, learning, doing that repetition, not really expecting people to do things for you, not really expecting others to solve all the problems for you, but really getting in there, not just by yourself. We do need to ask for help sometimes and rely on a support system. But ultimately, you want to be needy and greedy enough to feel that you want to progress in your own personal development. And that is so very, very important. And again, that takes work. Just like getting up a couple of times a week and working out takes work. Who wants to? Early mornings or cold mornings or too warm and too hot afternoons like here, right? Texas afternoons. So for that matter, if you are doing the work, you start feeling that you can grow and that you can go forwards with more information that you are now aware of. So that means that, yes, I make a lot of mistakes. And yes, I do things wrong, but I'm aware of it and I can change it in the moment and change it towards a better outcome so that people are around me are less victim, right, of my stress or maybe my anxiety or maybe my negative feelings or not being able to be in my light. And I want people to be in my light. Don't you want the same? So I want you to reach out to me if you can and just find me www.elianhaan.com or find me on Linktree, Elian Haan. And if you do so, please let me know what I can help you with. And if you mention the television show, Elian's Joy, you get a free consultation call. And from there we get going, right? So implement the things, start thinking, start doing it over and over again so that you get better at it and you get better overall at life. I want you to feel stronger, become stronger, and move forwards all the time. Thank you for watching today. Just wanted to give you a few nuggets. I wish you a wonderful rest of the day. Happy hunting. Thank you for watching Eliana's Joy. Namaste.